Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ocean Yumi's channel. So, as you all know, Merali, I think I said his name right, has been trending for the past, I don't know, last couple of days for racial slur and, he's a bit of a freak, basically. Anyway, Murad has been doing like he does reactions on Love Island. He also is like an advocate, so-called advocate of injustices. Um, yes, he's like that. Anyways, he got exposed the other day, and he got exposed. I think I've got. Let me see, because I had it set up to show you. Let me see if I can find. He got exposed or for doing derogatory stuff. So I'm gonna find it because I had it before. Let me see. I'm gonna find not a overly bad one, but hopefully. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Where is it? Oh yeah. He got found out for doing. Let me show you. Hopefully, you won't go funny. For doing stuff like this, basically. Mind you, he has a sexual fetishes for foot fetishes, but in this video, right, he did he had men, all different types of men at the bottom of the bed, and then he'll hit him with his foot. He will call him derogatory stuff, and in the thing, he's got himself down as the Arab master boy. Let's pull it up a little more clearer so you can see. Now, the reason why I said in the tab that is his feet, because it is his feet basically. It's unmissable. He's got it's unmissable. And one person said that the outfit, I think is this one, the outfit he's wearing is the same that is in the advert. No, nobody's not. Now, everybody has their sexual kinks and sexual whatever things that they do behind closed doors. But I think what got the internet talking was the derogatory words used. Now, my thing is, this man was out marching when George Floyd died, etc. And he talks up a lot for a lot of injustices as well. Now, Mr. Uganda covers a whole lot of stuff, and he was able to explain that um, he we take on different advocates, and like some people have agendas and some people is a certain way already, and they show this through different ways of yeah, they'll say things. You know how people put on personas and and then behind closed doors is something else. So, as this picture shows, he's wearing the same out, outfit that he was wearing that he wears and says in the, I think it's the video. So, my opinion on this, I think if a person's a certain way, right, they're bound to show who they are sooner or later, right? And considering that I've met this guy in passing down Brixton one time, I was so glad to see him because when someone voices, and it's not like I put him, it's not like I was fan girling and rare. You know, when you admire people who speak out on various things, and you and them, but you feel that they inspire you to speak out on certain stuff in it, however which way you put it, or however which way you want to talk out. So when I saw him, I was quite happy to see him. I didn't really talk to him for long anyway, right? So um basically I was kind of let down by the actions, no word of a lie, because um I mean, I don't do marches now, like at all. So when I saw him doing all this stuff, so my question is, was you always this way all the time? Now, I'm gonna show Mr. Uganda. I'm gonna put Mr. Uganda. Find him. Mr. Uganda did a little breakdown on all of this, right? So I'm gonna show a little bit of it, and then I'm gonna attach it to the description, right? And I feel exactly how Mr. Uganda feels on certain stuff because, like, it's like when we talk for our own causes, is people don't listen to us, but when other people talk on our causes, they get famous on they make money on our causes. They well personally they no, they eat off of our causes and all sorts of stuff. This is where me and Mr. Uganda, this is where I agree with Mr. Uganda on this side of things, right? So I'm gonna put up Mr. Uganda's. Hopefully, got a, right. I'm gonna put Mr. Uganda's some of what he said. I'm gonna try and find the spots because I know I can't remember whatever all the spots because he had some points to which I am in agreement with. I can say that, and I'm not gonna go through his whole video. I'm gonna take a snippet of it. Let me see.
Black Lives Matter. Look how big the crowd was. Murad, were you looking for people with a size 11 foot?
Right, let's do this. And then I'm going to say my opinion a little bit after I showed. After I showed Mr. Uganda.
This is why people are angry, okay? Because people keep conflating the narratives. No one's upset that Murad does private stuff. I mean, I guess a few conservative people are upset, you know, give or take. You know, like you can't guarantee that everyone's going to smash people the same way you do, okay? It's not our job to police the way everyone does something in their private life. I get it. I 100% get it. But what he's doing intersects with racial politics. And it speaks to his hypocritical nature because his channel it sort of synthesizes Black Lives Matter wokeism in one. His primary objective in many of his videos is to call out racism. The objective is to speak to social justice warriors, to be the black woman's ally. And I'm sorry that I have to do the whole black woman thing. And because people are going to be like, oh, Mr. Uganda, like, don't just pick on black. It is about black women, okay? And black women know it too, because black women are the ones who feel most betrayed by him, as the comments are going to demonstrate, okay? So there's always a method to the madness. But just for now, all you guys need to know is that Murad Merali dedicated himself to being the mouthpiece for black people's social politics, black people's fight against racial injustice. And why I called him a person of color is because that is how he came to be known when it came to defending black people. People felt comfortable with a person of color defending black people because we're still in this very like, not obnoxious, but there's like this slightly ignorant society where people feel like, all because we have color, we all share the same struggles. But that is not the case, okay? It is not the case. And it's very weird how something can be for black people, but somehow non-black people of color end up being the spokespeople for what is meant to be our struggle. And this is literally the pinnacle of what is everything that's wrong with what's going on in the Black Lives Matter movement, as we're going to touch on. Okay, now let's read the rest of this post together, because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. I'm not sure if anyone else has covered it, but we're going to be reading out all of these posts that he said about all of these groups. It's not just exclusive to black people, but he's been the most involved in getting involved with black people stuff. Anything to do with getting close to black influencers after Love Island, anything to do with calling out racial injustice against black people, anything to do with wanting to be seen as the black woman's ally. Murad Merali has been right there front and center to secure that type of representation. Now, with the rest of the post, we're going to read. Merali has been highly vocal against racism in the past, publicly calling out Love Islanders for their microaggressions towards black contestants. Lucy Donlan was a contestant from season 5 and received severe heat for refusing to learn black contestant Yawande's name, a topic that Murad spoke passionately about. Despite this, the videos and images that have been circulating hold a common theme of using racial slurs and derogatory language as a part of sex play. And we have to ponder, why would someone randomly decide to become an advocate for black people specifically? And we all know the answer why. It's because black people's emotions hold themselves as the highest commodity in, I guess, pop culture. Black people's emotions are such a commodity to a degree that you can monetize it. Doesn't matter what race, what orientation, what anything you are. Anyone that is determined to utilize the commodity of emotion that comes with black people, and specifically black women, they are going to have the time of their lives rolling in the YouTube dough, except for if you're a black man, though. Okay. And there were many, many black men that had come out and they were like, this isn't right. He shouldn't be speaking on our issues. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just jealous because he's defending us. Oh, you're just jealous, like, oh, go back to your Beckys, all of this stuff. I was just like, this is ridiculous. You have to question, why is someone who looks nothing like you committing himself to fight for you? Now let's read his post, okay? Murad claims, by the way, before I read this, Murad claims that this wasn't him. Murad claims that he's responsible for the videos, some of them, but as for the captions, he's not responsible. When he said that, and I'm going to show it in the video, I took that to mean essentially he might have had a manager and the manager was responsible for putting up the caption. He was very, very specific in his video to say, I wasn't responsible. Well, all because you were not responsible doesn't mean that no one else who was proximate to you was. Now let's read this post by the Arab master boy, okay? As I lay my back and relax with my big Arab feet resting on my, epithet. My epithet has now been blessed with the reward of drinking a full glass of my warm Arab piss, and it did so. My chank bows its head to show a form of respect, to show that it is thankful, to show that it needs to make me proud, and my chank did so. After worshipping my boots, sweaty gym socks, and my Arab feet and legs, it was now time for the next step, for my chank to drink a full glass of my Arab piss, and that was its drink for the day. Born to serve, born inferior, born submissive. This is one of my many chank toys, and I love to play with it when I want. My cash F word toy. That was, and now let's go to the black person. Now, let some people tell it. Some people were saying that this black person was Kenyan. Does anyone know any Kenyans in the space? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. So that was petty. Let's read it. And because we're black, we can read it. This dirty nigger was making love to my feet the only way it can come close to any real success in their life. After brushing the street, this is so fucking disgusting. Okay, we're gonna read it again. DC is just too much. This dirty nigger was making love to my feet the only way it can come close to any real success in their life. After brushing the streets and living on low. Oh, Murad, you're fucked up for this. You're fucking cancelled, mate. After brushing the streets and living on low income, it craves my big Arab superior feet to loathe on as the only good comfort in its life. My monkeys are good. My monkeys are good at worshipping my feet, as they know they'll never get anything better in their life since they're niggers. Murad, Murad. You know it's over. There was this therapy institute that he was promoting. They fully disowned him. His celebrity friends have fully they've set him aside. Murad, you have done the unthinkable. You again, you're allowed to do what you want to do behind closed doors, but your racial politics, you're wanting to be dominant over people, it's very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. And a lot of what you're saying, these stereotypes are just very, very harmful. And it speaks to who you are. Now let people tell it. Murad said he's not responsible for the captions. But how can you prove it? You prove you weren't responsible for it. Prove you weren't responsible. That's my entire problem. When you came out to address things, you didn't even provide any proof, no substantive proof that you didn't do anything. It's just the he say, she say. But the difference is that what everyone else is saying seems to correlate with the character of your sexual persona. And this goes even further because while you try to sort of leverage it as private bedroom politics, Murad, I found a picture of you. And I don't think this is even on the internet yet. It is on the internet, but just not on the blogs. I found a picture of you, Murad, which we're going to look at right now. There was a picture of you on a roof somewhere, and you were flashing your feet with see-through socks. See-through socks. So completely missed me with this application of it's my past, all of this stuff. How could it be your past when 2 years ago on Twitter, you were taking pictures like this with your feet fully out? And this isn't just it, you guys. This is like a real thing. When I scrolled down, people had already noticed back then that the socks were see-through. And let's add on even more to this. There are more posts, Murad, from just a few weeks ago on your Instagram. On your Instagram, there were people posting feet emojis. This was 11 weeks ago. That rounds off to about 3 months and a bit, give or take. Yeah, 3 months, 3 weeks, maybe. 3 months, 3 weeks, right? Let's get those ones. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Another Twitter one. Murad, just 11 weeks ago, there were people thirsting over your feet. Thirsting over your feet. And then even under your YouTube videos, there were people who had a fetish for your feet, and you were liking you were liking the comments, Murad. Murad, this was 3 years ago. So not only was it 11 weeks ago that you were still on this foot thing, you were on it 3 years ago, which just about encapsulates the time frame I had posited before when I had said that you must have been doing this very, very, very recently. Your foot habit is inextricably linked to your appetite to do videos of you denigrating other races of men. Your foot fetish is inextricably linked. For as long as we see that you still have a foot fetish, we are so led to believe that you are still doing these type of videos, that you still endorse the same politics. Murad, there were even other 18 weeks ago, there were people thirsting after your feet and you were not uncomfortable. And that's the entire premise of what we're here to say today. Murad, you are comfortable in your dysfunction. You are comfortable in your dysfunction. You have shown no remorse. This is even with the racial connotations out there. Even if the captions on the Chinese man and the black man's post weren't real, you were still denigrating the white man racially from what I saw. And so you're still loud and proud about your foot fetish. Even after all of that, Murad, you have no place in the Black Lives Matter movement. You have no place in black social politics. You just have no place in it. We don't know why you're there. That's the problem. I don't care that you put feet in holes. We care that you have these views. You have these views when you're around black people. You have black friends. You have black male friends also. You're around black discussion spaces. You're being invited to speak to people who are not only multiracial black, but they're black. But you speak to them to discuss their issues that come due to their blackness and how it's perceived in UK society. Your entire, your periphery is more or less black. Yet this is your politics. Your politics is to assign yourself as a slave master over other groups of people. And especially because you are Arab, okay? You know the context of the Arab slave trade. For you to put your feet in juxtaposition to any black person and to do something like that speaks to your moral corruptibility. You do not have the moral threshold to be talking about racial ethics when you yourself hold a very, very, very imbalanced racial ethic. I've got a picture to show you guys. I've got a picture. If you guys saw there was a video he posted like last year in the wake of all of the police violence that was happening in America. You know, Black Lives Matter hit up in America. I'm not sure which black person died in America last year, or was it the year, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. There was someone who died, and I don't mean to forget the name. It's just that there are a lot of people who die at the hands of the police on the American media. It is hard to keep a track of who's who. But after one of those people died, Murad and Amber, so Amber is a Love Island winner and she's biracial. And those two were over there doing Black Lives Matter protests and stuff, okay? Murad, what were you doing at Black Lives Matter? What were you doing at Black Lives Matter? Look how big the crowd was. Murad, were you looking for people with a size 11 foot size? You were looking for someone on a bunion on their feet. You were looking for someone who didn't wash their toes. You dirty fucker. You were over there looking for a person with open-toed shoes. And I can see one person may have had that. And there's actually a black woman. I'm looking, but you guys can't see it, but on the bottom right, there's actually a gap. I'm trying to make out whether she has open-toed shoes. You were looking for the person with size 12 feet. You were looking for someone with a foot size to match your fetish. You weren't there to say no black man. You were there to say black feet. Black feet matters to you. And not in a good way. You're sick. Looking for corns to scrape. Like, this is sick. Get him off the screen. Get him off the screen. He's done too much. And this is just me speaking purely from making the connections. The entire point of my video is to show how recent the conduct is. It's not distant. In the wake of high racial injustice being broadcasted and you putting yourself out there as an ally, at the highest point of when we needed allies, and I'm saying we needed, I'm trying to, it's for emphasis, but at the highest point of when black people looked like they needed allies, you appeared to be one. But at the same time, you could have also been an insane racist who wanted a black person to be subordinate. Because remember, like you said in the post, allegedly, they've never had anything good in their life. That this dirty nigger was making love to my feet the only way it can come close to any real success in their life. Monkeys, niggers. You're accumulating all of this wealth, all of this clout, and it's just feeding into your narcissism. You're only going to get worse. And for the life of me, and this is the disclaimer I was waiting to get for, because now I've done this aspect. I'm done with it. You guys can do with it what you want to do. Now this is where the commentary comes.
Now, Mr. Uganda covered a few points there, which I am in agreement with. Okay, I'm in agreement with Mr. Uganda because I used to follow Murad on YouTube. Actually, I think I'm still sub to him. Actually, I might have to just unsub. To be honest, I might have to unsub because I don't look at Love Island and all that foolishness anyway. So it's fine. So yeah, I have to unsub. I have to unsub. Um, Basically, he did an apology, right, saying he was addressing, what came out, how what got exposed and stuff. And I'm gonna the next one, if I can, I'm gonna put. No, actually, I'm on the community tab. I'm going to attach tropical juice because tropical juice went and research. There's this thing that people play where it's like I think it's race porn or something like that. I can't remember what's it called, but I'm gonna put it in the tab for those who want to be in the know about those things. So Tropical Juice went and did a research, and Tropical Juice also gave his opinion on um, the Murad situation, right? Because I watch Tropical Juice a lot, right? So Tropical Juice, right? I think how I found out about this was through Tropical Juice, in fact, because Tropical Juice was very disappointed. He just had a disappointment on his face. Disappointment. So Tropical Juice started explaining certain things. So I started looking into some videos and came across a few UK ones talking out because a lot of people follow Morale, a lot of people follow Morale, a lot of us, and today even I came across a person talking about surviving him and all this. And to be honest, I couldn't sit through that video. It's kind of long-winded, So my thing is the addressing. He addressed, so-called addressed his audience and gave an apology. So-called, I'll say, so-called, right? The apology, I feel, was not genuine. Um, it's very edited video. I think quite a lot of people, quite a few people have shown it. I might even show it. I don't know. I might show it. I might show it. Or I might just do another video and show it. But I'm going to give my opinion on this addressment, right? And Mr. Uganda was also saying that because he studied psychology, it's like he was reacting to one of his videos, how he did the address. I think what's the name? Let me see a transcript. Also notice a few things. Actually, quite a few of us noticed a few things. Right, we pointed out a few things in the video because I was in the chat and she was talking about it. And right, and I don't know whether anybody have seen his so-called addressing video. Okay, because I don't think he addresses anything personally. He doesn't say he doesn't address anything. What he does, he brings up his past trauma to cover up his what's happening now, and no one is saying that what you went through, right, is acceptable. Not in the least. Okay, it's not acceptable. Okay, but at the same time, right, you had a chance to apologize to the ones who follow you. And as you, Mr. Uganda, said, a lot of black women follow your channel. A lot, even me included, right? But it's only because like he gives very good commentary. He does, right? So I ain't knocking the grind there. He gives very good commentary and very good reactions to certain stuff because I mean, I haven't watched him in a long time, right? A long time, because I watch other stuff now. I watch other different types of reactions on other things, and I feel in myself that this is where I get suspicious of people. Now, I used to be optimistic of people. I used to be very optimistic. I used to be like, whatever. I'm like, meet a person where they're at and all that stuff, and kumbaya and la la la. And my thought factor has changed on a lot of people. And the reason why this is one of the reasons why I am a certain way of people. I used to be a very open person, yeah, with a lot of things. And I used to have all different types of, I'll say, nations of friends, nations. Right. I used to have Turkish, Indian, you name it, whatever. Now, when you're watching someone like this now, right, me, and I am known for this. My children will tell you. I have a very kind of warped mind. You have to convince me. I have to know you for a long time before I get into you like that. And this right here proves my reasons with certain things why I don't trust a lot of certain. I mean, I'm not going to say people certain who. I just think that how once you find out or you know of yourself and you know of certain history and you know of certain like because the Arab slavery is the biggest thing, right? They they are one of the most biggest enslavers even till now 2022. They was they they was selling people on Facebook, women on Facebook, their maids. They're selling their maids on Facebook. Right, there is evidence of this and all that. So when you see this now, this just convinces me that the trust of certain, you mustn't take people because they say what they say, right? On the actions and actions, because they can say one thing to your face and behind closed doors they'll be saying something else. This, mind you, I have seen happen because a couple weeks ago I think I went into a shop, and I'll be going to this shop for a long time. Now, this man sells to a lot of, he has a lot of black customers and all that. And over here, right, the British have a way of looking at certain stuff. They call people mongrels and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I just happened to hear this for myself. But when I came to the till, he sort of changed his tune. And I was explaining this to my daughter. So when you see certain things like this, does this surprise me? No. Nothing surprises me no more. Doesn't surprise me, not in a bit. And the reason why I say that because we know for a fact that the 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 Arabs, Dubai, all them side of things look at black people as fetishes or whatever. There is a fetish, there is a black fetish thing going on, and I feel like this just confirms to me that there's people like this out here. Anyway, but anyways, I'm not gonna drone on. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show the so-called address. Hopefully it'll work because I'm in the spot.
This entire video.
Right. So I'm gonna show the address. And I don't think man addresses anything. To be honest, he don't address anything. And you put it here. That's all. Yeah. Oh, so actually, let's make it small. All right. He doesn't address anything. He doesn't address anything. And I'm very disappointed in this person because it's not only because of whatever the black, because I don't believe in Black Lives Matter anyway. That's not my thing. I don't believe in them. I don't I don't associate myself with them. There is people doing real things on the ground anyway, right? There's real black people doing real things on the ground. LA Lewis is a great example of one example of it. Okay, one example. So this person here, him talking for so-called us, as we like to say, what really we are not together as a people anyway. So I'm trying not to say the us because it's pointless saying the us because that's just a whole nother conversation by itself. But this person here, he doesn't address nothing. He doesn't address nothing. All he does, he tries to cover it with a past trauma that happened to him when he was 14 or 15. And no one's saying that that is okay, what happened to you or whatever, right? Right? No one's saying that that is okay. Like he said that how he would prostitute himself if he has to and all this stuff. I don't like he tries to shock or manipulate the audience as well in this video. On top of that, he doesn't address anything. He does not address one thing. He doesn't address anything. He doesn't even address the slur. He doesn't address anything. And it's very sad that such a great, well, I don't know. Should I put him as great? No, he's not great. You're not great. Right? You're not great. Um, Speaking as a UK person, I mean, I could say of color, whatever, hue, whatever. You know what, right? You have to be careful who your allies are at this point because when the time of reckoning is needed and you need backup, you need to know who is on your side, who you're dealing with. And it's about time people don't take people for face value, right? You have to vet them very well. Now, if if I didn't watch his YouTube for a while, I probably would have never subbed to him. And that's what I normally do. I normally watch people for a little while before I get into them or whatever. I'm very fussy where my energy goes to sometimes. Even if I put a comment in the comment section and the people is off with me, but I just take that as that's human nature sometimes. But with this situation here, It doesn't matter what you do in the bedroom. At the same time, it's how you play out certain stuff using racial slurs. Now, I know he's a gay man. It's obvious he's a gay man, right? By how he talks and all that stuff. By the pictures in the IG. I'm trying to be as nice as I can be right now because there's no point I'm flinging and going into one and being emotional and rare, because that's what we're known to do. But this person here, he's down and low grading my book. And once you are down and low grading my book, right, boy, I don't even know. I just can't be dealing with people like this. This is exactly how it is in the UK. As much as in the Americas, they say they don't hear of racism and stuff over here. There's a lot of racism over here. Okay. There's Karens over here. There's and the history shows it over here. Right? So what he's done is just added to the shit, basically. Yeah. But anyways, I'm not gonna drone on. I'm gonna play it for those who haven't heard or seen the video. I'm gonna play it and let you hear. And this is why we are ticked off or pissed off a little bit over here, because you more or less were saying, okay, I'm your ally. At the end of the day, I didn't take you on as an ally. I just saw you as a content creator. You had great commentary. You spoke up for a lot of stuff. And it's not about hero worshipping. Because sometimes, right, you can hero worship people, and then later on now you can find out that how they're absolute bitches and bastards behind the scenes. And this is one of them. Okay? So as much as he's gonna try and hoodwink us, bamboozle us with the fancy words and the fancy talk and the fancy whatever. It's not about being fancy. It's not about what you say. It's the actions. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah, it's in the actions that you know that people will probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't forgive you anyway because I ain't all about that. But all I know is that how you come under everything that I for so many years used to talk about in being around the conscious community. They used to talk about all this stuff, and it seems like in now 2022, everyone's showing their ass right now. This is the time where we see people for who they are, whatever genre they come in. But anyways, I'm not going to drone on like I said because I'll just go in speech mode. I'm going to let the video play. Let me just bring him up a little more so you can see him. For those who don't know who this is Murad Merali. For the Americans who doesn't know who he is a YouTuber, influencer, reactor, commentary. He does commentary on programs, etc. Okay, so let's just hear what he's gonna say. Even though I've heard this like 50 times, but it never sounds any better, even when you play it, no matter. Okay, so I'm gonna play it.
Some of this content is also not me, and I can profusely apologize and take full accountability for how this has come across. Content is not me. The severe derogatory comments are not written by me, and I will stand by that. This is not who I am. Some of this content is also not me, and I can profusely apologize and take full accountability for how this has come across and how everybody has felt from this content. Some of this content is me, not now, not recently, in the last 5 years, 6 years, not any moment now. I don't know how I'm going to do this video. I don't know how I'm going to say all of this, but I'm just going to speak from the heart. And
And if you notice, right, there's different cuts in between the videos. So anybody who edits videos, all the ones who edits their videos, you will see the cuts because of how it jumps from one thing to the other thing to the other thing. He didn't just come on a live and just speak. He edited this video. So just listen to what he says. You can put what you think the comments in the comment section and tell me exactly what you think of this, how you feel. If you do follow him, how do you feel? Like, I know I'm gonna unsubscribe. I know that much. He unsubscribe, don't want, not interested, damn, gone. No, that's how I feel. So yeah, let him continue his BS and let's listen.
Just speak on the camera and just talk. These screenshots associated with these pictures, these vile racist verbiage that has been used is not written by me. This is not done by me in any capacity, and this needs to be made abundantly clear with full force immediately. All of this needs to be addressed. I did not write this stuff. People make their own captions. They mix it with their own pictures for their own satisfaction, their own desires, with their own fantasies, their own ideations, whatever they have, and they put it together for their own mental satisfaction, for whatever desire that they have as a person. Nobody actually knows about me because this channel is not about me. It's about reviewing content. That is what it's about. And in order to really actually discuss this properly and coherently for everybody, because that is what everybody deserves, a proper explanation and timeline of everything. And that is what I'm going to do now. Some of this information that I'm going to reveal, I did not want to reveal. But I've had no choice now but to reveal this because I need to reveal it and it needs to come from my heart to everybody. When I was 14 years old, I was severely raped. Countless times. I was just a kid, man. I was severely raped. I had genitals shoved in my anus. I had feet shoved in my mouth. And I can never get it out of my head. And it fucked me up relentlessly. Every other night, I couldn't escape it. It happened all the fucking time. I couldn't escape it. But no one knew. No one knew. Nobody knew. And I said to myself, I want to do whatever the fuck I need to do to get out of this place, or it's going to happen again to me. So I did just that. I developed these fetishes, this foot fetish. I developed it through what happened to me. And I needed to make money. That was my only goal, to make money, to make money, to make money. It was all about money, 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 money. Because money is what I needed to get out of a place that I was being brutally fucking raped in. This is the truth. This is who I am. This is who Murad Merali is. And I'm saying it to you now, and I'm going to be transparent about every fucking little thing because this is who I am. This is why everyone says to me, Murad, why are you so daily inconsistent? I'm not daily inconsistent because I'm putting videos out. I'm daily inconsistent because I know I need to make fucking money. If I don't make that money, I'm going back to a place where I was fucking raped every single other day. Tearing me inside. Literally. Why is somebody doing this? Why does somebody act like this? This behavior that is being witnessed currently is not normal behavior. We can all agree. It comes from somewhere. Why has Murad gone into clinical psychology, cognitive neuroscience, psychology, to find out why the fuck I was a freak? That stupid degree to fucking help me find out why I'm such a freak, to get it out of my mind, and it never fucking worked. So that is where this all came from. But why are you doing this? Why are you behaving this way? Why are you doing these fetishes? why are you acting in this way? Why are you doing this? Because this is what happened to me, and this is what developed. And so I did it to get out. I had to get out. I had to do anything to get out. I would be a fucking prostitute if I could, I would have 110%. But I didn't. But if I could, I would have, to make any kind of money to get the fuck out, because it was either that or I want to die. And then the same thing happened again. Yet again in the mosque. I know this is a lot of information, but I need to be fucking transparent. And there needs to be transparency from me. That's what everybody deserves. And I can't get it out of my head. I can't get that out of my head. I was a kid, man. Why the fuck are you touching me like that? Why are you touching me like that? And it never fucking stopped. I was just a kid, man. I was just a kid, man. Inshallah, I'm praying to Allah that my life is taken. Okay? I pray tonight I'm gone. I genuinely pray from my heart of hearts that my life is taken. Because I can't do this anymore. I know nobody even knows this fucking shit. It's all daily and consistent, pretty shit. I tried anything. I tried everything. Everything in my power. Everything in my power to get out. It needed to be addressed immediately, and I needed to inform of all the fuckery I went through, because that is a huge point of what happened. I appreciate everybody who's watched this very serious video, because the content is very heavy. And just
Okay. No one's taken away what happened to you, right? No one's taken away what happened to you. You put on the video, right? You're going to address what the exposure, the stuff that came out on you, right? Now, you, for one, has always said that how when people give apologies on videos, right, they do it to manipulate the audience. They do it to hide behind certain stuff that's happened to them. And it seems like you've done the same thing that you talk about in your videos when you talk about people who have given apologies in the past. I mean, there's a meme going around, and the same way, right? He literally used to say, "Are you serious?" Right? But like I said, no one's taking away the trauma that was done to you, not in the least. And I'm sure for those people who survived abuses in the past as children, whatever happened to them, all right, and they've come out and they survived. Some of them, some have got therapy. Some has had to go through a lot of deep therapy. So, but the thing is, right, you was addressing the thing you was exposed for. All right, that's the whole idea of doing an addressing video, when you're addressing the audience to let them know that, okay, that was me. Right, he said, okay, that was me, but I didn't write it. And da, 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 da. He didn't say no, like, oh, those things that was said on the captions, whatever. I'm sure you have control over certain stuff that you can say, no, I do not want that there. The fact that how it says our master slave on on your handle, right, speaks volumes. And to me, you are not an advocate for, I'll say black people, but he can't advocate for nobody, because he obviously needs therapy himself. It's all and good, right? You got a degree for studying what's happened to you in the past. But even people who are therapists and shrinks or whatever go and get therapy themselves, right? A therapy shrink have a shrink for themselves. You obviously need help. You need severe help. You the help for whatever, for that trauma that happened to you in the past, and you need to address it. The next thing I will say, even if you didn't write the thing, right, I'm sure you had the power or whatever to say no, whatever, you can't put that. Obviously, right, you are, I can't think of the words. You are part and parcel of the problem. So therefore you are not an ally. And I hope that the women who follow you see you for truly who you are, because you are truly a manipulator, a narcissist. I know people hate that word, but this time, in this case, this comes on under narcissistic tendency. And when you see it in front of your face, you might as well call it for what it is. Okay, this right here, he's a narcissistic person. Right, he edited this whole video. Right, you can tell by the breaks, you can tell by how it's in and out or whatever. It's like he stopped it, he came back, said whatever, stopped it, came back, Then he edited the video to suit. Now, if you, whether you, I'm not saying that you agree with me or whatever in this case. Now, this is just one person that I mean there are many people who probably think have the same mindset as him, and all that, because there's a lot of people who think this way of black people, or they're the lowest of the low, they have a low IQ and da, 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 da. This is why when people say the hard R on YouTube, right, I know that you're saying that you're taking back the word and da, 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 da. Now look, the hard R is used in his post. Now it doesn't sound good, it don't feel good, and knowing from which it came from, because I know people say slavery didn't exist, la 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 la. But anyways, to make a person feel small, a person of color feel small, they would use that word, and they will use the hard R, right? They'll use it hard, right? And in this case, I do not feel bad. I'm kind of glad that this has come out, to be honest, because, like I said, it just confirms everything in my mind. The people that is around you, you don't know who's who. A person could smile up in your face, and then then when they're in their houses, they're saying something totally different. And I feel people need to bear in mind that how you mustn't take people because they say the nice words and all that, yeah, yes, okay, they're part of our cause and da, 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 da. This is why, yeah, you just got to be careful, right, with people, because you don't know. Like, this man's eaten off of black causes. He's monetized his channel off of black causes and everything else. He's probably come from one of those middle class, I'll say, Asian houses and stuff like that. He's able to afford and do whatever he wants to do, travel wherever, and nobody is saying no, right, about the grind or whatever. But there's morals and principles in everything. And if your morals ain't right, your principles ain't right, you'll get found out for the person that you are. Your mask can slip at any time. And yeah, I think that's my opinion on this person right here. I'm not going to talk about him again. I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to unsub. I think quite a few people have unsub from him already because of what was shown, leaked, whatever. There'll be more people covering this. I know that because they will come across it and they will cover it. There'll be another person, loads of people covering this, and it needs to be covered because you need to know who you're dealing with. You need to know who the enemy is at the end of the day. He is one of the enemies. Don't get deceived by the people's words. People can say whatever they want to say on here. YouTube is a place where people can say whatever, and then later on now, right, when the history of stuff comes out, what they were saying online is a whole different ball game. This has been done many times, many times. And he's not the first, and he won't be the last. There'll probably be more people that we are following on YouTube that have a certain mindset, and when they get leaked out and found out, then it's left for you to make a decision as well. Because, like, you can protest by unsubbing, not commenting under their stuff, not talking about them. Yeah, because he's gonna live good regardless of whatever we say on the YouTube. So I'm not gonna long at this video. It's 1 hour gone, and I think I said enough in the beginning. I'm not gonna waffle on again. So with that said, I'm gonna come off. Have a good day, good afternoon, whatever time span, or good night, whatever time span you're in. Because man, just don't take people lightly, right? I mean, this is where, like, you're supposed to guard your energy against ones like this. You have to know who your enemies are. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to come off. I'll see you. Please comment underneath the video and tell me what you think of this situation, especially the ones in America, the ones who've never heard of him, or the ones who has heard of him. Tell me what you think. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to come off. I will see you later. Have a good morning, good night, because it's morning over here. It's like 7:05 over here in the morning. So with that said, I'm going to come off. I'll see you. Bye.